The Northern Research and Demonstration Farm was the first outlying research farm in Iowa. The Farms Association, which was organized during the Depression, serves as the model for research and demonstration farms throughout Iowa. Organizers began raising funds for the farm in 1930, when farm foreclosures, bankruptcies, and unemployment were the norm. Those economic roadblocks didn't stop more than 400 farmers and businessmen in north-central Iowa from moving forward with an idea to provide site-specific research. The need for the farm was evident. The soil and weather differed significantly from the Ames area where Iowa State College was located. At the time, there were very few hard-surfaced roads between Ames and northern Iowa, and travel time could take up to 3 days.
It was the start of the Depression, so the legislature and the State Board of Education, they didn't feel would give them the money to buy a farm. So they looked for private land to do experiments up here.
The association's members and supporters were successful. Together, they raised $12,000. The Northern Iowa Experimental Association opened the first outlying research farm in Iowa on May 4, 1931. The funds were divided among an 85-acre farm, a lab, a machine shed, and management of the farm. Everett Hansen served as the first farm manager until 1945. In 1955, at the farm's 25th anniversary, I.E. Melhouse, plant pathology department head, talked about the endeavor. Choosing the farm was relatively simple, he said. The job of raising money to pay for it was another matter. During its early years, the association began a profitable seed treating business, raised hybrid corn for its stockholders, and experimented with new crop varieties. Corn prices dropped from 35 cents a bushel in 1931 to 12 cents in 1932, and farmers were looking at sugar beets as a cash crop. Iowa State researchers responded and found ways to manage 3 diseases plaguing sugar beets at the time. Research on small grain seed at the farm established a seed treating and cleaning service. The research resulted in millions of bushels of seed being cleaned and treated at the farm. In 1934, the American Crystal Sugar Beet Company contracted the farm to treat all of its Iowa seed. As soon as new varieties were demonstrated at the farm, the seed stocks were released to stockholders and the public. The first production of hybrid seed corn was started in 1932. The hybrid had a stronger plant stand and didn't lodge like older varieties, so its popularity grew.
My grandfather lived right near town here, and he was kind of, set in his ways and didn't think that seed corn would be any value to him, so he didn't want any. And my father said, well, I'll buy you some and if you'll just try it. And he tried it, and he had this other corn that was just kind of pretty well flattened out, so it was hard to pick, and the hybrid that he had happened to plant stood perfect that year. He says, next year I got to have more of that.
Researchers began planting a new row crop in 1932 known as soybeans. Farmers saw it as a possible replacement to some of their corn and oat acreages. In 1931, Iowa farmers grew just over 130,000 acres of soybeans. Today, Iowa often leads the nation in soybean production with more than 10.1 million acres planted in 2005. The farm's field days were a social event. More than 750 people attended the farm's first field day on September 29, 1932. The day's schedule included 3 band concerts, and the field demonstrations began at 11 a.m. and lasted until 9 that night. The field days became an annual event. Farmers came to learn about research results and let researchers know about problems that they were facing. During Kanawha's first 25 years, thousands of farmers visited the farm's field days. During the next 50 years, the Kanawha Research Farm continued to respond to the needs of local farmers and businesses.
Probably what's made it successful are the people that we've had as the superintendents of our farms. So somebody like David Ruber's become a vital part of the community. And then we have to look at the board leadership we've had. Ed Engstrom served as a long-time president of the board, and Harley Kreitlow is now. They both are very caring people that understand the role of research in the scheme of things.
In 1953, the Clarion-Webster Experimental Association purchased land 1.5 miles south of Kanawha. The farm was set up to study drainage, soil fertility, and crop rotations. Al Kemp was the superintendent for both the Kanawha and Clarion-Webster farm from 1946 until 1968. In 1965, the association transferred the operation of the Kanawha farm to the Iowa Agricultural Experiment Station. In 1968, Cy Engstrom began as superintendent and managed the farms until his retirement. In 1979, Bernard Havlovic began managing the farm until he relocated in 1987 to manage research farms in southern Iowa. David Ruber took over in 1987 and continues to manage the Kanawha farm today. In 1995, the Clarion-Webster and Kanawha associations were merged and formed the Northern Research and Demonstration Farm. The locally owned research farms across Iowa allow farmers to provide input about problems they'd like to have researched. The partnership between farmers and researchers works. Field day demonstrations give farmers a chance to get up-to-date first-hand information on current projects and ongoing research.
Well, the benefits are there's the outcomes of there's a lot of the production practices we use today were first researched at farms such as this one at Kanawha.
Farmers and business members can be proud of what they have accomplished during the past 75 years. The Northern Iowa Experimental Association was the first outlying research farm in Iowa, and it provided a model that still works today. Iowa State researchers and staff meet with farmers annually to get advice and provide site-specific research.
75 years, there's been some changes, but I think the overall thrust of the farm has been the same, to try to get local research that's very appropriate for this area.
This grassroots model that began with farmers, businesses, and researchers continues to work. Iowa State University and its 15 partnering research farms provide a vital role in addressing the challenges facing Iowa.